Hello, my name is Rodney. I'm from the PL Gamer QGame YouTube channel, and today I'm actually going to go over a few movies. Well, movies, two animes, and actually a lot of movies, but basically different things that actually grew when I was growing up. These actually scared me. Very few things. When I was growing up, I got scared pretty easily, and but certain thing. But as I've grown up older, only two movies, actually a movie and an anime, have recently actually scared me. Actually made me kind of go, ugh. And I'm actually going to start off with one of them, and I'd actually gotten confused on it because what I had done, I didn't realize that I had been watching Evil Dead 2 for the longest time. I thought that was the original one. I didn't realize there was a difference between Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Okay. This one, the ending of it, goes into Army of Darkness. But both of these are very similar movies. They start out basically very similar. This one, I didn't realize, I had seen it when I was younger, but I didn't realize that it wasn't this, because this is the one I had watched most of my life, that I had seen and thinking, oh, that's Evil Dead. I'm not paying attention to what it said on HBO or whatever I was watching it on. So, when I think I got this at Best Buy or somewhere like that released these big books. What these are basically, it's like a latex book. It's supposed to feel like human skin, but it's actually supposed to be the Necronomicon, which, there we are. So like when you open it, it's actually got the pages of it and everything, which is actually really cool. Then you go up and it's got like a little book here. It talks about the Evil Dead. And the back of it, there we are, you actually have the movie. It's got Ash's face on it. So, but I had picked it, I saw this at, I believe, Best Buy. And got it, brought it home, watched it, and it wasn't like I remembered. Well, because the reason why is because I'm used to watching this one. This is another one. It's basically another version that looks a little bit different, and it's got the Necronomicon in it also, which is really, both those really cool. I mean, both of them have like the ear on the back, and there's the face and everything. I like to look at this one better, but this one, if you push the eye here, the battery's dead. It used to scream. The stereotypical like Halloween scream is what it did when you press the eye. But I guess over the years it's probably just the battery's died, because I had these quite some time. Go ahead and put this back in here before I rip it to pieces. But yeah, so I actually watched it, and I was actually, one, because I wasn't expecting certain things, and it just, the ending of it is, I'm not going to, if you haven't seen this one, like me, if you were confused between these two, watch this one. I like the ending of this one better. So yeah, it's actually a really good movie. It was done, I think, when they were really young. Sam Raimi, I believe. I know Bruce Campbell stars in it, but I think Sam Raimi, maybe, or yeah, Sam Raimi was the writer and director of this. I think it's one of his first films, if not his first. I'm not sure. It'd be good. What, like, there's this big thing called the internet and IMDb, and you can look this stuff up. You think I'd do that, but no. But yeah, so that actually, because I wasn't expecting it, and a lot of things are so different, it actually startled me. And this was when I was in probably college. And I mean, it wasn't like scared me to death, like, oh my god, that's horrifying. But it was like, actually, it's not what I expected, and that led to scaring me. And then actually, this one came out maybe a few months later, and I bought it and I watched it, and I was like, that's what I remembered. But I do think both these are good movies. I actually like the original one better, though. If you're going to watch Army of Darkness, watch this one and then watch Army of Darkness, because Army of Darkness is technically Evil Dead 3. Okay. Well, I'm going to show this first. What got me into, like, when I was younger, I had never knew anything about anime. I just knew they were cartoons and they were all for kids. And I was looking to see if this actually had, this does have the receipt in it, good. And this actually tells what else I bought with it. Yeah. No, just this is what I bought with it. Okay. And what happened was that I think it was Showtime. It might have been, I believe it was Showtime. That one night I was up really late. I was maybe, I don't know, 13 years old. And Vampire Hunter D came on. And I was like, it's late at night and they're showing a cartoon. So I was like, cool, I'm going to watch this. Because I always stayed up really late. I mean, this was like maybe at 2, 3 a.m. this came on. And I had never seen an adult cartoon. I think I had seen part of Wizards. I think that's what it's called. The American cartoon that's really for adults. But this was the first time I ever seen an anime that was this way. And it blew me away. I was like, oh my god, I love that. But, well, it was on whatever premium channel. Like, I think it was I do believe it's Showtime. And, well, once that month was over, they rotate the movies. And I had never seen it again for, I mean, years and years. I didn't know what it's called because I caught it not at the very beginning. I didn't see the actual name of it. And this is before you could hit info and see the name of whatever movie was on. This is like it would told you before the movie, and after the movie it generally told you what was playing. Like if you didn't have a TV guide or something like that, you didn't know what was coming on. But that was the first time I ever saw it. And then I remember never seeing it again. Like I remember the character. I remember the main character D, and I remember what he looked like. And at a GameStop, they had this, and that's where I actually got this at. This is what like GameStop was selling used DVDs. This is quite some time ago. I'm trying to see if it has the date on here. Yes. Okay. So I was walking around in GameStop and I saw this, and I instantly remembered him from like 10 years earlier. I was like, oh my god, that's what I remember watching when I was a kid. And I bought this on March 16th, 2004. That's how long I've had this DVD. And that really started my... I've been collecting anime before that, but this was really the first... This movie started my anime love because I saw it really young on like a premium channel. I think, like I said, I do believe it's Showtime. And I was like, that is awesome. So ever since then, it's made me actually... but the thing is, I didn't realize it was anime. I didn't realize it was from Japan or anything like that. I just thought it was an American made until I got older and I realized what it was. So this has actually started me on that road. And it was actually, at that age of 13, it really drew me in. And it was not really scary, but it was like, wow, this is something new. So I really enjoyed that. Then, but no animes really scared me. I've watched so many of them, and I was like, okay, that's scary, but it never scared me. That kind of makes sense. I hope it does. And until I watched this one, and it is called When They Cry. This is it's the box set. I actually bought this thing one at a time as they came out and filled this box up. It is, this was released by Geneon. I think Funimation may own it now. If you can watch this, I cannot remember the Japanese name for this. I'm looking to see if it actually has it on here. Okay, I think it's Higurashi no Naku Koroni. Don't quote me on that. I'm reading it off the bottom of here, and I'm not the greatest at Japanese, so I believe that's how it's pronounced. But it is a really scary... I mean, the first thing it shows, and I'm not sure, I probably have the receipt in this still yet. So I've always put the receipts in the... No, it doesn't have it in here. Dang it. One of the cool things about this is the covers. So you have this one, but actually when you turn them out, on the other side it's got like this alternate, this black color. This looks, I think, looks like scarier. And I like that better. And this is actually a really creepy series. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it. I mean, when you start the first episode, you see, is he on this? No, it's not on the box. He finds one of the, alright, let's see here. And, well, he's on that one. Okay, there's a guy here. I'm not sure if because where it's black, I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me see if it, alright, now. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see him right here or not, because where it's that silhouette type of cover. But this boy, first thing you see is that boy basically bashing the brains in of these two girls. And then after like a minute of that, it rewinds time and it shows you how it got to that point. And that's just the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then it like starts over in a different timeline, and different things are happening, and that goes on for about 5 or like 3 or 4 episodes, and then it resets again, like every single time the storyline resets, it's the boy is relatively new to the town, and it's kind of hard to explain. It honestly it is. I highly recommend it. It's very creepy, and the part that scared me, I think, was in, oh gosh, how far up into it is it? It's creepy. Like it was always kind of like, wow, that's a little unsettling, but it never really got to me until like, I don't want to say it was the last disc, but also there's different things. Like when you look at the back of them, it goes episode 1, 2, 3. And then the 4th episode of this is episode 1. And then it goes episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes back to episode 1. So it's like a different weird story arc. Like it goes through, and then at this one point, then it rewinds time. And then I don't want to give away too. I'm trying not to give too much away, but I highly recommend it. Very good. Very creepy, and there's parts of it, and like there's one part in this, and that's the one reason why I love it so much. I mean, out of the 20-some episodes, there's one part that actually made me go like, I was watching it like at 3 a.m., like I had all the lights off in the house, I was home alone, and something happens, and I was like, whoa, and it really got, it unnerved me for the rest of the night. That's how good that was, I think, that scare. So, yeah, I highly recommend that series. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually talk about two other movie franchises. If you've seen enough of my videos, you'll see it missing. That normally sits right there, one of them, and that is the Nightmare on Elm Street. When I was younger, this series really scared me. My brother, it scared even more than me. Like I remember one time my cousin dressed up as Freddy Krueger for Halloween, and was he wanted to show my other cousin his costume. So he was standing there we have a sliding glass door. He was standing outside and he said they told my aunt to go to get my other cousin. So as he was walking, because me and my brother, I mean, we might have been 8 years old, maybe 7, 8 years old, and he said, "Hey, Tommy's out there. Where's Ralphie at?" Well, my brother was like wanting to say hi, so he runs to the door, and basically to him it's like there's Freddy Krueger standing there. It scared the crap out of him, and I think he cried for hours. But yeah, it kind of startled me too. But I was like, I could tell because he used pencils for the nails, and I was like, oh, okay. When I first saw it, I was like, but then I kind of saw that glove wasn't right there, but it was scary. It was a really good costume. But this really did scare me when I was growing up. The first one, I believe, is really the Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one is the scariest of all of them. As they go on, they get less scary, and until you get to Freddy's Dead. To me, this is a comedy. Sorry about that. My card on my camera became full. But like I was saying, this one is the scariest of the entire series. It's a traditional horror movie. The boogeyman character. I really like the movie monsters, and this was a really good one. A really cool idea about there's actually something in your dreams. Like, to a kid, that's really scary, because it's like, okay, when I go to sleep, this thing's really going to get me. So that's one thing about this that really, I think, scared kids the most. But this one is not a horror movie to me. This is a comedy. I've watched this so many times, and I laughed my butt off all the way through it. And the 3D glasses, which I thought I had, I thought they were in here. This is like some special. Yeah, here we go. It actually, this edition came with 3D glasses that you're supposed to wear for Freddy's Dead, and they're corny. I mean, it's like, and especially if you're wearing glasses and you're trying to watch this movie with these on, it's yeah. So, yeah, and you can't turn that effect off in this movie, I don't think. I don't think there's like another angle that you could just turn off the 3D. So that's one bad thing about that. But if you haven't seen it, it's a funny movie. It really is to me. I remember when I was in maybe 8th grade, I believe. I actually took a date to this movie, and it really scared her. I mean, she was kind of like, I was like she was kind of mad because I was laughing through it, and it was really scaring her, and I was just like, that's a funny movie. That's not a horror movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series. I'm a big fan. I'm a pretty big fan of Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund, I believe, is the actor's name that plays Freddy Krueger. And I've seen the remake they've made. It's I don't really think it's very good. But this edition I liked because it has a lot of information about it. Talks about the different movies. Gives you like a little synopsis of what they're about, and like how they, and like just a little bit more inside information than I had before. If you really want to know about the Freddy Krueger series, there's a documentary. It's called Never Sleep Again, and it's like 4 or 5 hours long, I believe. And it talks about every single movie. Like they start out with the original one, go to the second, the third, fourth, all the way up to Freddy vs. Jason. I have Freddy vs. Jason on my shelf somewhere. That's an awesome versus movie. I really like it. They had like they had a few little things in it that I was kind of like I didn't like, because they had like a imitation Jay and Silent Bob in it. I was kind of like, eh. Like there's actually like they even talk about that during the documentary. Like Jason Mewes actually appears in it. He goes, oh yeah, wait a minute, I wasn't in that movie, and he just gets up and walks off. So it's like the documentary's really funny. That's really the only thing about Freddy vs. Jason I didn't really like that much. But this is also one of my favorite horror movie series. I put that in there so it wouldn't fall out. But one of the things I did like is the way they did New Nightmare. I meant to grab that out and forgot. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. This one is kind of the idea of I've actually never watched this. This is like that's called the Nightmare Series Encyclopedia. I haven't watched that yet, so I'll actually watch that tonight. But what it is, it's a different take on it. It says that there's this entity that gets locked inside of a story, and that's how you keep it that's how you keep it from doing things. You have to have a scary story. It likes that character and it gets stuck inside of it. And well, it likes the character Freddy Krueger, so it takes it on, but it looks a little bit different. And he actually is a lot. You think about Freddy Krueger, that's kind of a scary character. No, they actually make him more terrifying in A New Nightmare. It's really good. Basically, the people that they actually play themselves in the movie. Like Wes Craven's in it. The girl that plays Nancy is in it, and all these characters, and they're going around doing things. Like there's this actual entity that's like Freddy Krueger. That's actually that's kind of it's not part of this series, but I really like it. Also, I really like it. Also, it's very good. I highly recommend watching all of them, and watch them in order because there is kind of there's a loose story behind all of them, but just watching them, they're all really good. And okay, now another series that I really like, and that I saw them completely. These I saw completely out of order. I never saw the first one until I was probably 18. The first one I saw, I'm actually going to take these out and look at them really quickly because I believe it was part 3. No. Maybe it's 6. I don't even remember now. Yeah, I think it was 6. Yeah. Okay. As you can tell, there's quite a few of these. There's 7. There's 8. I've got 8 of them here. I think then there's. Okay. Tell what it is. And that is Friday the 13th. I have the big collection of them. I really enjoyed this series. And I believe it was I think I saw part 6 first. And that's the one to where it's like I think it's a camp or something. I don't remember. It's been so long. Like the first one I saw was the one where the guy digs the grave up and sticks the thing into Jason's chest, but a lightning strikes it and brings him back to life. I think that's part 6. I'd have to look on them again. But I highly recommend this series. This actually scared me more than Friday the 13th. I think this is my brother's favorite horror movie series, if I'm not mistaken. My favorite horror movie series I'm actually going to do for a video by itself. My favorite movie monster, I think. I'll do that as a video by itself. This is another one of my favorites. The longest time, I didn't see much of a difference between Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers, but that was when I was younger. Now that I've gotten older, I'm like, oh wow, the series are really different. I really like both of them. But this one, I remember because I saw it completely out of order. I was like, I don't understand the storyline. Why is this guy sticking this thing to this guy's chest and he's coming back to life? He's like a zombie. And that really intrigued me. And then later on, when I saw the first one, and if you've seen Scream or anything, you know that Jason Voorhees isn't the killer in the first one or anything. But I watched it and I was kind of like... The one bad thing about this, I will admit, is they put her on the cover holding a knife, which kind of gives away that she's the killer. I didn't like that. But if you're buying this collection, you probably already know that. But... So yeah, when I figured out when I saw, I was like, wow, this is part 6 when I first saw it, and I started looking for the other ones and actually renting them at this movie rental store that we had called Movies to Go. They didn't have they only had some of them because some of them the tapes had broke, and I remember watching these in the weirdest order. It was like part 6, then 3, and then 7, and I think then Jason Takes Manhattan came out, and I actually went to the theaters and watched that. And it was really goofy, I thought, but still good. I still like it. I think is this one that has the... I don't remember where it was. It might have been one I rented. They had a death counter on it. I don't remember where was that at. I don't even remember it now. I'm trying to remember where I saw that. That's actually that just popped in my head. I remember that. No, that was on Billy Bob or something Drive-In. Billy Joe Bob, or I can't remember. It's one of those monster movie marathon things. I think it was on TNT, and they showed them, and they had a death counter. And I think they showed a marathon like over the weekend. They showed like 3 or 4 of them. And they showed 3 or 4 like each night, and they always, like I said, they kept a running tally of how many deaths throughout the entire series. And it was like death 1, death 2. And I remember then there was like the scene like where he kills a few girls in a camping site, and it's like it goes from like it goes up by like 4 or something. So yeah, that was actually pretty funny. I wish that was on this. I really liked that. I thought it might have been, but it's not. This does not include Jason Goes to Hell. I've actually got that on DVD. I just never remembered. I forgot that wasn't in this, or I would have pulled that out. And then there's also the Freddy vs. Jason movie, which I forgot to pull out. But yeah, another series. If you haven't seen it, what rock have you been living under? But this is actually another really good one. It's got the movie monster in it. Basically, it's the movie monster that never stops. He's always coming for you. I believe it was on Robot Chicken. There is, I believe it was Jason Voorhees. I don't think it was Michael Myers. I'm pretty sure it was Jason Voorhees. To where it's like somebody sees him and starts running, and he's walking really slowly, and then they get out of sight, and he like turns a corner, and he jumps on a motorcycle, and goes down a path, like he starts doing like motocross flips and tricks and everything, and then he stops and gets in front of them in a tree, like in their path, and they run by, and he cuts their head off with a machete. It's a pretty funny joke. If you can see that, if you've never seen that part of Robot Chicken, check it out. That's actually that's really funny. And it's kind of like it's like one of those things like, how does he catch up to these people? Are these people like running in a circle or something? Because they took off and he just kind of walks. How did he catch up to them so quick? But yeah, that's a kind of a funny thing in these. There's one, I don't believe this one has it. Let me look here really quickly, because I don't think these don't really have much special features on. There's been so many versions of these that actually have better stuff on them. Chronicles, Christ-like Victims, Tales from the Cutting Room. Maybe that was this one. I can't remember. There's one. There's a way that you can actually see the extended death scenes, and some of them are in really crappy quality. But to see actually what the director wanted to put into the movie is really good. It's like, holy cow, this death scene went a lot further than what you saw in the movie. Because like they're trying to keep things, like at the time they were trying to keep things less violent, but this series actually had a lot of a lot of violence in it. And those things, the way they took things out, kind of, you're like, wow, it is so much better to see that the way it was. But that's a look at some of the things that got me into anime, and some things that actually scared me since I've been an adult, and a look at some things that scared me when I was a kid. So I'm actually going to start doing a little bit more. I probably will do a little bit more in-depth video of Friday the 13th and Nightmare Before Elm Street. There's Nightmare Before Christmas, and there's Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street and the Friday the 13th, I will do a separate videos on them, more talking about the movies and how I remember them and seeing them and the feelings I got from them. But this is kind of a grouped in video to talk about a little bit of things about my memories from everything. But hope you're enjoying this. Really love horror movies. I've got so many of them, and I get to go back and put all these back on my shelf. But hope you guys are enjoying it, and till next time. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a like. If you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I release at least 2 videos a week. Most of the time I release more. Leaving a comment actually helps me a lot. It helps me know what you'd like, dislike, or would like to see on my channel. So go ahead and leave me a comment. If you would like to get in touch with me, have any questions, anything like that, you can go ahead and email me at vmail@poldgamer.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time.